I want to welcome everyone here today. My name is Ron Petak. I'm the executive editor for the Suburban Newspapers. And I want to again thank you for taking time to be here as we recognize the 2016 inductees to the Sarpy County Business Hall of Fame. For many years, the editorial staff and managers of Suburban Newspapers has realized there was a need to officially honor our business leaders. Being in the news business, we have covered the achievements of these leaders for many years. Not only are we aware of their impact in the business community, but also to the community as a whole. In 2012, the inaugural class of 7 individuals and 1 organization was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And now, thanks to the support of our local businesses and organizations that are featured on the back of your program, we are here to induct the 2016 Hall of Fame class. I want to give special recognition to Bellevue University. Since the inception of the Hall of Fame, they have committed to be the title sponsor. They have been a fantastic partner, and the Hall of Fame would not be possible without them. Their support also includes use of this beautiful facility today. And there are a number of Bellevue University professors and administrators that are here today, and please raise your hand and be recognized. Sarpy County CASA, court-appointed special advocates, came on board as our event sponsor in 2013, and with their support, this induction ceremony continues to grow. We have many volunteers for CASA here today, and if you are here from CASA, please raise your hand and be recognized. We also want to welcome the mayors of Bellevue and Papillion, Rita Sanders and David Black. And if we have any other elected officials, please stand. Thank you for your support. In our communities, we are fortunate to have support from many business organizations. Today we have in attendance the members of Bellevue Chamber of Commerce. Raise your hands. The Gretna Chamber of Commerce. Raise your hand. The Historical Downtown Papillion Association. Raise your hand. Sarpy County Chamber of Commerce, raise your hand. And if you belong to multiple organizations, raise both hands. Representing our title sponsor is Rebecca Murdoch, the Dean of the College of Business for Bellevue University. Rebecca has earned an MBA from the University of Sioux Falls and a BA in Business from Wayne State College. She is currently working on her doctorate at Creighton. Rebecca's career encompasses a wide range of administrative and teaching experiences. Prior to working at Bellevue University, she served as the chair of the Vukorovich School of Business at the University of Sioux Falls. It helps to grow up in South Omaha. During that time, she was also a full-time assistant professor of business administration for the MBA degree completion and undergraduate business programs. She also served as director of the MBA program for 7 years while at the University of Sioux Falls. Rebecca, please join me at the podium.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to campus on behalf of Dr. Mary Hawkins and the entire Bellevue University community. We are so delighted to host this event here on the campus. Obviously, as the Dean of a College of Business, it's extremely important to recognize the contribution of businesses at all levels, and we're very pleased to be here to celebrate with the inductees today. So congratulations to all of the inductees, not only today, but of course you're into your Hall of Fame in the past as well. What I wanted to also emphasize to you is the importance of the business community, of course, to Bellevue University's history. Of course, we couldn't be a university without the entrepreneurial spirit of the Bellevue business leadership as well as individuals from Sarpy County. So you are integral to our history and our future together, obviously. As we move forward, I thought it would be best if I could give you just a little bit of an update on some things happening here at the university. If you haven't been on the campus for a while, perhaps you've seen some of our infrastructure improvements, including a new parking lot and some new signage and so forth, and those improvements will continue. But more importantly, in terms of the kinds of things that perhaps you can't see unless you're enrolled here or you work here, is that Bellevue University continues to be a pioneer and innovative in terms of its academic programming and in providing different kinds of educational experiences for individuals of all ages and who have a variety of educational goals in mind. And that proposition certainly continues. We do that because we are able to work with the business community and stay closely connected in a variety of ways, but most importantly through the use of advisory boards and ongoing input from our adjunct faculty who are deeply connected to the business community as well. A couple of things of note that we've been intricately involved in. First of all include, we have recently welcomed 81 students from China to the campus. They are currently enrolled in our supply chain and logistics program, as well as our program in international business. This coming fall, another 110 students or so will join the current 81 students to continue to study in those programs. Additionally, across the university, we're seeking new ways of leveraging technology and innovative academic programming to meet the needs of students, as I mentioned previously. And in the College of Business, that means that we are involved with students from all academic walks of life, including traditional undergraduate students, as well as PhD students in our Human Capital Management program. That particular program, this spring, we're very proud of the graduates coming out of that program who are producing original research in the area of human capital management, and we will have 8 additional graduates participating in our spring commencement ceremony. The Human Capital Management program is the only program of its kind across the United States. So we're very proud as a college to be involved in a number of important initiatives in collaboration with the other colleges as well as the university as a whole. So let me close by saying congratulations again to the inductees. We're delighted to have all of you here for this important celebration. Thank you so much.
What a fantastic asset Bellevue University is, not only to our community here in Bellevue, but also to the metro area and to the state and in the Midwest. So thank you, Bellevue University, for all you bring to our area. Our event sponsor is Sarpy County CASA. Court-appointed special advocates is a volunteer program providing advocacy for abused and neglected children through Sarpy County Juvenile Court. We are fortunate to have Paula Krebs, Program Director of Sarpy County CASA, here today. Paula received her bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Nebraska and master's degree in public administration from UNO. She has more than 20 years experience in human services, including residential treatment for substance abuse and mental health, foster care, group home care, domestic violence, and child welfare. She has been with Sarpy County CASA for 3 years. Please help me welcome Paula to the podium.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much. I just want to take a minute to just tell you a little bit about our program. Like they said, we do provide volunteer advocates for kids who have been victims of abuse or neglect and are involved in the child welfare system. What we do is we recruit, screen, and train individuals, much like yourselves, to provide advocacy for these kids who need it. Sarpy County CASA has been in existence since 1986, and we just recently, last month, celebrated our 30th anniversary. So that was a really big milestone for our state. We were the first program in the state to be developed. What our advocates do, they are appointed by the judge, and so with that appointment, that allows you to have all access to all information about a child, the professionals on the case, any documents that you need to have access to, And you get to know that child on a one-on-one basis. You're meeting with them in their foster home or going to the school and meeting with them. And what you do with that information is that you take that back and you report that back to the judge and to the courts. And you make recommendations about anything that they need, from simple things like they want to play baseball and they need some cleats, or they need the fees to play baseball, or maybe they need some therapy, or maybe they need some medical care. So you are able to make those recommendations to the judge. Currently, we have 108 active volunteers, and we're serving 180 children in the Sarpy County area, but we have a waiting list. There are about 300 children involved in the child welfare system at this time, and so our goal is by the year 2020, we want to have an advocate for every child who is involved in the system. We were really fortunate last year. We were able to expand our program. We received some funding from local foundations to open a visitation center in Bellevue. We were finding out that parents did not have safe places to see their children and have visitations with them. So we did a campaign. We were able to open up a facility. It's at 119 Mission in Old Town Bellevue. And parents can come to this facility, have visitations with their children there. And I'm happy to say that our facility is being utilized 7 days a week. So the service is definitely needed, and so we're really happy to provide that. I do have a volunteer with me here today, and his name is Ted Brown, and he has been a volunteer with Sarpy County CASA for 6 years, and he has had some great experiences, and so I would love to bring him up and have him talk a little bit about his experience with CASA. Ted?
Thank you. As was told, I've been at CASA for a little over 6 years. I've had 4 families and a total of 5 children. I'd like to just take you real quickly and talk about 2 of the cases that I had. One is to show you that you do not have to do spectacular things to affect a child's life. The first child I had was 3 years old, so I didn't have a lot of communications with him. But I noted that at that time, the court system or the child welfare system was undergoing radical changes. We were moving from the state to private. We were changing caseworkers on a biweekly basis. And his case was being postponed and postponed and postponed because of literally no fault of his or his parents, but they just couldn't get the paperwork together. Now, this is a 3-year-old boy who's living in a foster home, became very attached to his foster parents. And I noted that on times when he was supposed to go to visitation with his parents, he was losing his coat, he was losing his shoes, he was losing anything that could stop him from going on this trip. So I talked to the foster parent. She confirmed that at other times when I was not there, he was doing the same thing. So in my report to the judge, I noted that the kid is becoming overly attached to the foster parents, and they need to do something to stop these endless delays. And fortunately, Judge O'Neill took the action, and a couple of months later, the young man was returned to his parents, and they've been living together now for the last 5 years and not coming back into the court system. The other one is to show that we may be volunteers, but sometimes I think we're grossly overpaid. I had a young man who was 9 years old, and during the 2.5 years that I had him, in the last year, he ended up in the psych ward at Emmanuel about 4 to 5 times. He would act up, he would make threats, he would do all kinds of things. And they took him to the psych ward. There was a period where he changed homes 4 times in a 6-week period. Then they finally diagnosed him with PTSD. That is something that military people coming back from Iraq should have, and not 10-year-old boys. Well, he finally found a family that matched up with him. I have to say, the first family he was with was a loving, caring family, but they just did not mesh with the little boy. Plus, PTSD had not been diagnosed at that time. Well, the young man got adopted. He is out of the court system, and I've maintained contact with him. Last summer, I took him to Louisville to swim, which was one of the dumber things that I've done in my life. I have no right to be sitting out in the sun for 6 hours watching a 10-year-old have fun. But I drove to his house, and I got out of the car, and he ran up to me, and he threw his arms around me, and he said, "Mr. Ted, Mr. Ted." That was a check that if I took to my bank, they wouldn't have had enough money to cash. Thank you.
So as you can see, Ted gave some great examples of what he has done to have an impact on a child's life. And like he said, it doesn't take much. What we've come to realize, he mentioned that caseworkers change, foster homes change, and what we've realized is that the CASA volunteer becomes the one constant person that is involved in a child's life, which can be so important and have such a strong impact. And you might not feel like you're doing anything, but you really are. And so I thank you for your time and for listening to our story. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul and Ted. What a wonderful program CASA is, and often overlooked at the importance of what CASA means to so many kids here in Sarpy County. Now, I'd like for you to turn your attention to the big screens because a good friend of mine has a video presentation for you. Thanks, Ron. I'm over here at the Durham Center here on the Bellevue University campus with the Sarpy County Business Wall of Fame, where all of our past honorees are listed on this plaque. We go back to 2012. And also, the current honorees from, as you can see, from a year ago, and which will be changed this year with our new inductees. So I want to invite you all to stop over here to the Durham Center. We're right off of Galvin Road, the building there, and take a look at the Sarpy County Business Wall of Fame. Thank you. A handsome gent he is, and a good guy. Buys me cocktails once in a while. At this time, I'd like to bring up Paul Swanson, who's a special projects advertising manager for Suburban Newspapers, to welcome our inductees.
Sarpy County, over the past century, has grown from a lightly populated neighbor of Omaha to a powerful, prosperous, and thriving community in its own right. This has happened because energetic and visionary people made it happen. The 2016 Sarpy County Business Hall of Fame inductees are the people who make Sarpy County great. Are we ready to induct the business leaders into the Hall of Fame? Yeah. All right. Our first honoree is Kim Ehlers, founder and owner of Kajamas Boutique. On the corner of First and Washington Streets in Papillion sits a charming shop that matches the personality of its owner, Kim Ehlers. Kim opened Kajamas almost 10 years ago and opened up her second location in West Omaha last year. According to Kim, she wanted to bring unique, fun fashions to Papillion, but wanted it to be really warm and welcoming. For everyone who has visited either of her stores, she definitely achieved her goal. Another goal of Kim was to enhance the Papillion downtown business environment. She helped form the historic Downtown Papillion Business Association, serving as president, and was recently elected to her 4th consecutive term. Many downtown merchants are in attendance today to show support. Her favorite event, Kim wanted to create a buzz in downtown Papillion by creating events that are a win-win for the businesses and residents. Her favorite event is the highly successful Sip and Wine Walk. I attended a Downtown Business Association meeting earlier this week, and even more events are planned for this summer and fall. However, I will warn you, Kim's energy and positive attitude is very contagious. If you ever attend one of her meetings, you might find yourself volunteering. Kim, congratulations. Will you join me at the podium?
Well, thank you, everyone. This is quite an honor. And I have to tell you, when Paul called and told me that I was going to be inducted into the Business Hall of Fame, I was very touched. It was almost like getting an Academy Award. I could not believe it. So I have put together a little acceptance speech here. If music has to start to play to cut me off, I hope you won't do that to me. So for the last 10 years, I have had a little shop on the corner of 84th and 1st Street in downtown Papillion. And 10 years ago, when I came up with that idea to open a boutique in Papillion, I never dreamed it would turn into what it is today. It all started on a brainstorming 5-hour drive across Kansas after visiting small towns with boutiques, thinking, gosh, why don't we have this in Papillion? We could really do this. And if any of you have driven across Kansas, it is a long, boring drive, and I was all alone. So I remember picking up the phone and calling my cousin Lisa and just kind of sharing my idea. What do you think? You know, this would be a great thing to do. So I remember I got home, and the first thing my husband Greg said was, how was your trip? And my reply was, I want to open a boutique. And he said, you want a what? Which was followed by, I think you're crazy. Well, for those of you that know me, once I start something, it's pretty much going to get done. There's no stopping me. Doors at Kajamas opened in July 2006. What started out to be a women's boutique offering high fashion paired up with quality customer service soon turned into owning a small little business in a town I love. I was going to make it through this without crying. Sorry. Paul, get my water. And he did it. Thank you, Paul.
I told you to volunteer.
Sorry. No, but really, I just got so passionate for Papillion. And it's always to be, my motto is it's not about the clothes. It's about the person wearing them. We've participated in numerous fundraising events over the years, and we've always seen the importance of giving back to the community. You really have to pay as much attention to the relationships and the community as you do your own business. They really do go hand in hand. The support of the community has spread to clients from Bellevue, Plattsmouth, Gretna, Iowa, Omaha, and surrounding communities. It truly has been a joy serving our clients for the past 10 years. Little did I know that my passion for downtown Papillion would grow larger and larger with each passing years. I've always saw the potential in our little downtown. I've served on several committees with the city, just doing everything I can possibly do. With the support and encouragement of Mayor Black, who's here today, this Historical Papillion Business Association was formed in 2012. This is my 4th year serving as president, leading an outstanding group of business owners. I'm extremely proud of the support and the networking that has occurred from the result of our little DBA. We've worked incredibly hard to revitalize downtown Papillion, creating events such as our Sip and Walk, and that's just one of them, which attracts visitors, introducing them to everything our downtown has to offer. We keep seeing new businesses joining our existing entrepreneurs, blending the old with the new. This is definitely a group that I'm very proud of. Mayor Black, Dan Hoynes, Tony Gowan, the city of Papillion is always there for us, cheering us on. So I applaud today who's with me, the DBA members, our city workers, and unfortunately I only have one of my staff members with me today because everyone's working at the store. But my wonderful staff, we couldn't have done this without you. So I want to give you guys a round of applause because you're all very special. As if I wasn't busy enough, I decided to open a second store. So Kajamas West opened 1 year ago. And even though this store is located in West Omaha and it's a beautiful store, Papillions will always be home to me. I love to think of Kajamas West as another tool to drive business to our downtown business association and businesses. We promote all of the Papillion events. I distribute our Papillion directories at the West store. because we want to let Omaha know how great Sarpy County is. Needless to say, my passion for the community and business development keeps me very busy. I have to thank my wonderful family, my husband Greg, my 3 children, Kalina, Jordan, and Madeline. For those of you who don't know, that's how the store got its name, Kajamas. They've been very patient and understanding of me with my bizarre hours, all of the help they've given me setting up events, hauling tables and chairs, figuring out dinner when I wasn't there to cook. Very special to me. And I also want to thank my mom. She's here with me today. Here I go again. She raised me as a single mom. She did a fantastic job, often working 2 jobs. I learned my work ethic from her. She is always busy around the clock, and so she wasn't always there to cook for me. I lived on TV dinners and fried bologna sandwiches, but I turned out just fine. So thank you for all you did for me. You work hard every day, thinking you're doing just the right thing, never really expecting to get anything back in return. But it's so nice when someone notices. Once again, this has been such an honor. It's very humbling, and once again, I'm just doing what I love. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Bob McKinney, founder and owner of McKinney's Food Center. For more than 40 years, Bob McKinney has owned and operated an independent grocery store in Sarpy County. The first store opened as McKinney's Terra Foods in Papillion for 20 years. Today, McKinney's Food Center is a fixture in Gretna, where it is operated near the intersection of Highway 370 and Highway 6. According to Bob, the reason for his success is that, quote, we try to do stuff the old-fashioned way. We do things chain stores aren't going to do for the customers. For example, store employees carry customers' groceries to their cars, and the meat counter offers fresh and store-cut meat. McKinney's is a family affair. Bob's wife, Mary, has been involved in the store since the beginning, and their children, David McKinney and Cindy Hansen, have been involved for many years. Recently, Bob and Mary's granddaughter, Miranda Hansen, joined the business as a part-time employee. With 3 generations involved and Bob's strong work ethic, he has no plans to retire. The future for McKinney's in Sarpy County looks bright. Bob, congratulations. Please join me at the podium.
Well, I really don't know what to say. It's quite an honor to be recognized, especially as an independent grocer serving Sarpy County for over 40 years, which I never thought would ever lasted that long. But the interesting part about it, and it's true with almost all of us in here, is the people's business. And if you don't get along with the people, or you have a problem, you're in the wrong business, in the wrong place. We truly have that one that'll come in and ruin your day, but you'll have 99 others that make up for it. Our store is truly a family business. He covered that. My wife has been with me. Thinks I'm nuts at times, but most of the wives think that anyway. But my son's been with me probably almost his whole life, except for a few months. And then he come back. Then my daughter's been with us for over 20 years, full-time, part-time. And now I got the granddaughter and stuff on it. But it's a family business, and it's a picture show. I enjoy old cars and stuff on it. But I do like some time off. But retirement was something I didn't think about. I didn't do good exit planning or anything. But, I don't golf, I don't hunt, and I don't fish. As long as I'm working, I'm staying out of trouble. So for this type of honor for somebody that's been in Sarpy County for 40-plus years, working with the people, working with fundraisers, anybody wants to do bake sales, car washes, it doesn't make any difference. We're there for them. Same thing for schools and churches. So with that end of it, I'm going to quit. I want to say thank you for being recognized, and I'm very pleased. Thank you.
Rick and Rita Sanders, founder and owners of Richmont Village and Richmont Terrace, are our third honorees. On the southwest corner of Fort Crook Road and Cornhusker, you will find one of Bellevue's most impressive complexes. It's called Richmont Village Retirement Living. The complex has expanded with the addition of Richmont Terrace Assisted Living and Memory Care. The Richmont story begins in the 1980s. soon after Rick had purchased a strip mall on Fort Crook Road. Before long, he purchased the 13 acres sitting directly next to the strip mall. Eventually, the ground was broken for Richmont Village in 2000, and the building opened up in 2002. During this time, Rick bought the land and the opening of Richmont. Rick's last name changed to Andrita. It's always Rick and Rita, Rick and Rita. Just like Franklin and Eleanor and Donnie and Marie, Rick and Rita go together. In Rita's spare time, she was elected mayor of Bellevue in 2010 and continues to serve in that role. The community that Rick and Rita has built has all the flavor of a family, says Rita. We are very hands-on, from cleaning, cooking, taking people to doctor's appointments, and even holding their hands when they die. Rick and Rita, thank you for all you've done for Bellevue. Congratulations. Please join me at the podium.
Well, Paul got most of that story right, except it's Rita and Rick, not the other way around. So. No, I thank you to Suburban Newspapers and to Bellevue University and the sponsors and advertisers for this event. It really is appropriate to recognize small business because over 90% of the jobs that are held and created come from small business. So we need to have an environment in our state and in our communities that supports small business because it does a lot of good. You got to be a little bit off, I think, to go into business for yourself. It's a risky endeavor, and most businesses don't succeed that start from scratch. Luckily, a few do, and we've got some people here. There's an awesome array of business people here. I just have to say, Brian Hamilton's here, Beardmore Chevrolet. Some of you knew Mo Beardmore. Brian's wife, Carrie, have carried that business to new heights out there on Fort Crook Road. George Rybar's here, off at Collision Repair. He's a second generation, maybe third, I don't know. But that business is a great fixture here in Bellevue. Frank Coomer is over here, Irwin's Jewelers. And the three businesses I just mentioned, I don't mean to overlook anybody, but they've been here not only for a long time, but they've given a lot back to the community of Bellevue, a lot. And Rita and I's contribution pales in comparison, but we hope to catch up someday. So thank you for those people. The other thing I'd like to say is, it takes a support group. We heard from CASA, you've got a remarkable support network there. And Rita and I wouldn't have a business that we have today without that support group. And I'd like to recognize most of them are here, maybe all, other than my banker. Which we have Connie Barnhart is here. And Connie, would you raise your hand? Her husband, Richard Barnhart, is the individual for whom Richmont Village, Richmont Terrace, Richmont Point, Richmont Village, et cetera, is named after. He died just before Richmont Village opened, and he was responsible for teaching me about real estate, residential real estate, and getting that started. The second wave of our support group is Steve and Denise Shippers, and they're right here at this table. I know you don't want to be recognized, but they came along when we needed some help, and without their help, that corner might still be vacant. So, you appreciate that, and that support group is what it takes. It takes a team to get things moving forward. And then I've got also here Jason Lang, who's part of MJ Senior Housing. Jason and Mary Lynn Bolden have been working with Richmont Village for 5 years now, and they have stood up Richmont Terrace, the assisted living and memory care. That's a very technical business, and they have done a great job. We're still we're getting higher on the curve, but we've got a ways to go. But do stop by and see that if you can. It's a beautiful facility, and it's going to be a real treasure for Bellevue, I think, and for the seniors in Bellevue. It's kind of funny, when Rita and I started this business, we were relatively young, and she still is, but I'm old enough to live in my own facility, and we have a couple people that are younger than me. So that's a sobering thought, but it's been a pleasure to be here in this community. The city of Bellevue is here too. some representatives from the city of Bellevue, thank you for coming and sharing this event. And hug your local small businessman.
I'll keep it short. When Ron Petak walks into your office, the first thing I thought was, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. But how can I be? We've been so busy, too busy to get in trouble. But Ron Petak wanted to talk to Rick and I thought, uh-oh, we're really in trouble. So what an honor, Ron. Thank you for stopping in and letting us know that we were part of this. As part of the community for the last 30 years and member of the Chamber of Commerce, I have heard for all 30 years, why don't we have this or why don't we have this in Bellevue? And I say, well, why don't you open that? And people say, oh, I don't want to take those risks. I don't want to spend the money on that. But that's what all of you have done here today, so I thank you for doing that. We do know about the risk, the blood, sweat, and the tears, and it does take the whole family. I've got our best friends here, Bob and Sue Ryan. It's Bob's 60th birthday, but he decided to spend it here with us celebrating, and they have been with me since day one. And we've got neighbors and friends that have been with us for many, many years, so I want to thank you for that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, love you.
As we get older, our memories aren't quite as good, and I do need to introduce someone that's been with Rita and me from the beginning. She was even there before Rita was an employee, and that's Corey Hansen from Hays, Kansas. She's a Jayhawker. She's been my sidekick for so long, I call her Tonto.
Congratulations, Rita and Rick. You told me to say that. By the way, looking at that photo up there, it was Rick. Many of you know Rick and Rita are a very active couple. To find a photo where they weren't running, biking, or mountain climbing was difficult, but we found one anyway. So congratulations again. Our next honoree is Jim and Sharon Shaw, founders and owners of Soaring Wings Vineyard and Brewery. Jim's winemaking days began when he was a young boy of 13. I think it should stop right there. Use your imagination. According to Jim, we had mulberry trees, and I heard you could turn mulberries into wine. So I started squeezing the berries and used bread yeast to make wine. Eventually, his mom caught him with 5 bottles of wine in his closet. And Jim, I'm suspecting that conversation probably didn't go very well. No, okay. Those early experiences led Jim and his wife Sharon to open Soaring Wings Vineyard and Brewery in Springfield in 2004. A dozen years and many awards and satisfied customers later, the Shaws have honed Soaring Wings into one of the top vineyards in Nebraska. Their wines have captured numerous awards at local and national levels. Soaring Wings is also home to many weddings, business meetings, family retreats, and live music on most weekends. Jim is a commercial pilot with Delta Airlines and still spends half his time as a pilot. Sharon keeps the vineyard growing strong during Jim's absence, and their son Jeremy is part of the business as an assistant winemaker. Congratulations, Jim and Sharon. Please join me at the podium.
Oh, hey. Good evening. Hey, I made up a very small presentation. It's just about 3,000 words or so. Oh, wrong one. Wait a second. Never mind. We'll skip that one tonight. Hey, there was a really good photo up there on the whole group thing. Matter of fact, it's on the table. And if you look at it, we're right over that cup. And I'm not in my cups right now, but sometimes out at the winery you can be. Regardless, thanks so much for this reward. As has already been said, we've been working at this stuff for a lot of years. We first started thinking about doing a brewery back in the mid-'90s when we were down in Dallas. We moved back here in '98 to help take care of our folks, so our roots came back here. And as you can say, we've deeply planted roots here in Sarpy County. And Rick, I agree with you on the small business stuff. We need a lot of support as small businessmen as we provide most of the jobs in the area. And it takes, with all the tax structure and stuff like that out there, it's a very difficult environment as a small business to pay all your taxes and keep everything up to date, as so to speak. I would like to thank our family that has supported us, mainly our kids. Jeremy who already been mentioned, and also Teresa, who works in our tasting room. We also have over here Sharon's sister, Jan Young, and her husband, Jack, and Elaine and Andy, good friends of ours, who everybody helps out. During harvest and other parts of the year, we kind of tap on everybody. Matter of fact, when we first planted our vineyard, Sharon's family of 10 siblings, by the way, all came out and helped us plant our first rows of grapes in 2002. So it was quite an experience. It was kind of cool that first day when it's near the end of the day. It had been a very long day planting 5,000 vines or so. And we got to the end of the day, and there was a red-tailed hawk that was soaring over our hill. And the name Soaring Wings kind of got underlined at that time. So we thought that was a good experience. Since then, of course, we've grown from a very small winery of a few thousand square feet to over 12,000 square feet of processing and meeting space. We can seat up to 2,000 people at our outdoor amphitheater. It's probably the finest outdoor area to actually experience music with the sunsets and stuff that we have there, and the good acoustics. It's a beautiful thing. I know you got a great place here in Papillion too, and we served wine out there for a while. We got to get back out on the list out there. But it's a great place to come. We have music this Friday night, music every Sunday afternoon year-round, and our Blues Festival has got one of the biggest, strongest blues lineups that the Omaha region has ever seen. A Grammy Award nominee, International Blues Competition Award winners ad nauseum, several awards, so it's a great place to come out. We do make great wine. We've won almost 300 medals in international wine competitions. And our beers have won some medals too, so come on out and see us. And most of all, I really want to thank Sharon for putting up with me all these years, because it's not been a real easy thing. And she does keep the ship afloat while I'm gone. But I'm telling you, 2 full-time jobs is getting a little bit tiring. So I'm starting to switch the winemaking over to my son, Jeremy. He's going through about a 2 or 3 year process of learning the whole thing, because it's very involved. And I think Sharon should maybe say something, don't you think?
Yes, wives do think their husbands are crazy. When we started this, Jim had told me, hey, let's plant a few vines and maybe 5,000, and why don't we do a winery? And he said we would be open 2 days a week. Okay, it's 5 days a week, and 7 if he could push me to do that. But it's been a lot of fun, and we make a lot of memories out there for a lot of people. They come out and they have a lot of fun, and everybody from all over come out and enjoy and have a good time, and we like that. So thank you all.
Our final honoree is Bank of Nebraska. When Bank of Nebraska first opened in 1974, it wasn't far from neighboring cornfields. But as the city of La Vista grew, so did the bank. Bank of Nebraska went from offering personal banking to becoming a leader in getting small business off the ground. As the community growth continued, they added a mortgage center in 1980, and since have added 3 branches, 1 in Bellevue and 2 in Omaha. The bank is involved in various area chambers, community foundations, and school foundations. They have a strong partnership with the City of La Vista for the city's annual Salute to Summer Festival and the city's concert and movie series as well. According to Mike Schwanier, bank president and CEO, it's a lot of fun to be with a small community bank. You have a lot more impact, and it's a lot more challenging. We're able to compete and provide some services that the big boys do not. Accepting on behalf of the bank is Mike Schwanier. Michael, congratulations. Please join me at the podium.
Just a few words. Rick and Jim got it absolutely right. It's all about small business. And they're actually what makes the whole U.S. go. And we're very grateful that for over 40 years, the Bank of Nebraska has been able to serve small business. And God willing, and the creek don't rise, we'll do it for another 40. So thank you very much for the award. A number of my employees are Bellevue graduates. A number of my biggest customers are Bellevue graduates. So we're very grateful that Bellevue's here, and come see us sometime. Some of the best rates in town on mortgages right now, and Small Business Administration is just pushing out a new program for the refinance of commercial buildings and large equipment that's just can't be beat. So come see us and we'll show you how it's done. Thank you very much.
Paul and I have been around so long that there was a time we didn't need reading glasses. But as you leave today, and here they go, you will receive a swag bag. In the bag, you will receive thousands of dollars. Okay, they're not thousands, okay. But there are a couple items that are of a Hall of Fame special edition that was published last week in the suburban newspapers and in the Omaha World Herald. In addition, a very special gift from Warren Buffett is included. Stock. A lot of stock. And in that special section, you'll learn even more reasons why these outstanding individuals and businesses were inducted into the Hall of Fame. If you want to see photos from today's event, you can go to BellevueLeader.com, PapilionTimes.com, or GretnaBreeze.com. Those are all suburban papers. And take a look, and you can feel free to share those photos on your Facebook accounts. And as we conclude, it has been my honor to help induct these business leaders into the Sarpy County Business Fame. There's still some food left, so if you didn't get anything or if you're still hungry, you can stop over there and grab a bite. And we want to thank you all for stopping here today and honoring our inductees. Please have a good night.
We're having a party, dancing to the music played by the DJ on the radio.